Yes, good morning, wherever you're watching me from. Oh, good afternoon or good evening. I just have something to say. It may be long a bit today, this video. So, but you bear with me. It's normally important things or something which is important like this, we don't need to rush it. Well, I'll try to summarize, and I see that maybe we end it quickly and doesn't take over 30 minutes. Though I'm planning at least to be about 15, around there. And when I, as you can see from the topic of what I'm trying to talk today, now, keep your dignity, virginity, sexual purity. Keep your dignity, virginity, and sexual purity. When I started dating those days, around 2010, 29 there. Yeah, around that time. So I used to think that most Christians, or all the Christians, were virgins. That was how naive I was. I used to think, mainly those very active Christians who are always in church, I thought they are abstaining, or they are not sleeping around. This is what I used to think when I just started dating. But I was very mistaken. It was not correct, of course. You know, when you're still young or naive, that is what normally most of us think. So during that time, my initial qualities or the conditions for whoever I'm supposed to date, I only say that I was supposed to date only CCR members. CCR, some of you know it, Catholic Charismatic Renewal members only. This is how I used to think. I used to say, no, I'm only dating Catholic Charismatic members only. If you're Catholic or you're Christian, that is none of my business. As long as you're not a CCR member, I had nothing to do with you. But of course, later I had to change, and then I made it sure, like, if you're a Catholic, and then I changed. I said I make it like all Catholics. But later, after also moving around, trying to date, and with the qualities, the Christian qualities, I came to realize even the Catholics was not enough. So at last, I put all Christians. As long as you're Christian, this is how I used to how my dating, what conditions or qualities or requirements or values. That is how they have been changing over the time. So the hardest thing which I've come to realize is that getting a spouse or getting a partner is not a very simple thing. It's very, very hard. Getting a husband, getting a wife, even if you've met the person for the first time and he or she is supposed to be the one whom you are supposed to marry, but then you have to do some checks. You have to do you have to check the compatibility. Are you compatible spiritually? Are you compatible morally? Are you compatible physically? Is the person honest? What the person has told you? Dating can take place even in 10 minutes. Or no, 10 is too less. 30 minutes or 1 hour. 1 hour is enough for somebody to tell you everything about him or herself, and then you make a decision. But why do you need to take maybe 3 months, 2 months, or even weeks to know somebody? Is because people lie. One of my lecturer told me that human being is a chaotic animal. We lie, so that's why it is hard. For it is not simple. Maybe somebody can. It is not. You cannot easily know a person after talking maybe for only 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours. You need to verify what the person has told you. Is it true or false? So that's why this thing of dating or relationship is very hard, because what the person has told you, you need to verify if it is true or it is not. You have heard many ladies saying, or women, always complaining, where are the good men? Why am I attracting always cheaters? Then others even say, relationships don't work, or marriage doesn't work. So when you see somebody talking like this, of course, you have to know mainly this is a person who has been dating using our private parts. Because if you're dating using your head, you can't end up in such a situation where you don't trust everyone, or you don't trust anybody. If you've been dating using your head, you don't sleep around with men, or you don't sleep around with ladies. There you keep your boundary. That's why they say dating is an interview, is a marriage interview. You do it in the boardroom. You don't go and sleep around in the bedroom. So when you're dating, you don't need to what? You don't need to have sex. You don't have to fornicate. You just talk. It's a time of interview, getting to know each other. So such people who ask such questions, where are the good men, where are the good women? In most cases, these are people who don't date celibate. So the problem is you, or is her, the person who is asking such things. Where are the good men? Where are the what? They have the problem because of their dating. They date in the wrong way, or their relationship or friendship. So, when a relationship goes bad, I've written an article about this. It is women who suffer more. I give you a simple example. If you become pregnant, and pregnancy affects who more? Is it not you, ladies? So some of these things, when we tell you, you have to be very careful, and you have to heed the advice, which some of us are spending a lot of time in researching and then in putting such videos or writing. So when a relationship goes bad, it's always men ladies who suffer more than women. As I've given you that simple example of pregnancy, and many other things. Emotionally, most of us men normally, when we sleep around or when we fornicate, it doesn't get into us. But women, most times, they put all their emotions in it. So that is it. When a relationship goes bad, it affects women, or it affects ladies more than it affects who? It affects men. So we give advice. If you don't listen, then adversity will teach you. Okay, if you are a virgin, or if you're a virgin, virginity, of course, is for both men and women. But I mainly emphasize it on women. Why? Is because for men, how do you prove that a man is a virgin? As I've given you the other example, if you fornicate, or if you had the premarital sex, it affects ladies or women more than it affects men. So that's why sometimes I make more emphasis on ladies. So if you're a virgin, as a lady, you must keep it as if your life depends on it. Because if you lose it, it will affect you. It will affect you in all aspects of almost your life. So for those of you who are virgin, listening to my video, or I've written a lot mainly in my Twitter, and then I've written also some articles. You go and read them. I think there's one even keeping I think I've written like 3 or 4 articles about virginity. So avoid, if you're a virgin, avoid the madness or the evil which Satan has brought, of making you, of you getting a man or a boy whom you call a boyfriend. That is normally the main source whereby most of these virgin girls lose their virginity, or virgin people, virgin men, because of boyfriend and girlfriend. If a virgin, leave that alone. It is not. You are not supposed to be in such kind of confused relationships. If you want to get married, you date and then settle. Or if you want to have a boy or a lady as to have company with, then call him a friend. As simple as that. I've talked about that. I made a long video, I think about 40 minutes, about a boyfriend and girlfriend. So some of you, if you have not watched, scroll down. There's a video down about boyfriend and girlfriend. Today, I'm mainly going to talk about dignity, virginity, and then sexual purity. So yeah, avoid what? This boyfriend and girlfriend stuff. That means also you should avoid people who are having such. Some of you are having your friends who are living in such kind of relationships. So if all your friends are having boyfriends and girlfriends and you're the only one who doesn't, then it is just a matter of time. The next will be you. They say if five of your friends are rich, then you're going to be the sixth rich person. What it means that is that what they do, it will affect you. Infection. That is what this is what was one of the writers, Robert Greene, wrote about it. Infection. One of his 48 laws. So you should avoid the poor and the what. You should avoid the morally decadent people, because they'll affect your morals, whether you like it or not. There is energies. Life is full of energy. So if you don't need to argue around, oh no, I'm just having all my friends are drunkards, I don't drink, even if I go to club with them, I will not. Such excuses. The next day you find yourself you're drinking. The next day you find yourself you have lost your virginity or your sexual purity. For those who lost it, maybe through rape or with or incest or any other thing when they're young, when you never knew, end up losing it. So your company or your friends, those are very, very important. Make sure you keep friends who encourage such kind of lifestyle, such kind of upright lifestyle. A mistake is something which is done once. If you do something once, you fornicated once, we may call it a mistake. But if you go and you do it the second time, sometimes they call it coincidence. But the second time, it's a choice. That means you've chosen to do it. You fornicate once, you can be forgiven easily. People know, no, it was a mistake. Though it was not a mistake, you wanted maybe to try. But if you do it for a second time, it becomes a choice. You do it for a third time, it becomes a habit. When you do it for fourth time, you fornicate 4 times, either with the same man or with different men, or with the same lady or different ladies. That already becomes your character. And to get out such kind of character, it will take a lot of work. Self-control, self-discipline, sexual purity is not simple. It needs a lot of work. That's why I normally say, if somebody who has been fornicating, who have been having a premarital sex, sleeping anyhow, before you come to the dating market, you have to stay for a minimum of a year. This is what I put. But if you have had maybe I slept with over 2 men, then you need to go and heal for at least 2 years. Though for me, I normally recommend 3 years. You need to be out of relationships for at least 3 years. Go and learn discipline, sexual purity. Then you come back when you know what you want, not just to come and then you start sleeping again with men or with ladies. So if you don't want to have such kind of character, such kind of bad characters, then don't do it. Some of these things are addictive. Then we have those, it is in the Bible, written in the Bible. You remember the story of the 10 virgins. There are some 5 who are foolish. Unfortunately, there are more foolish virgins than wise ones. This is what I've come to realize in my interaction with most virgins. And I have a group, Facebook group. I also have a WhatsApp group where the Facebook group is called Virgin Until Married. Also the WhatsApp group, though it is a bit mixed. So sometimes I post a lot there. It's a private group, so I post a lot. I interact a lot with people who call themselves virgins. Some even you wonder whether they are really virgins or not, because they are very foolish virgins. And I'm not very sure, because if you call yourself that you're virgin and you're dressing like a prostitute, how will people even believe your claims? There must be a clear distinction between you, who is a virgin lady or virgin guy, virgin man, and those who are not virgins or fornicators, or those who are sleeping anyhow like dogs. There should be a difference in the way how you dress, in the way how you talk, in the way how you conduct or carry yourself. You can't be dressing when half of your breast is appearing, and then you call yourself a virgin. A virgin for what? So virginity goes together with what? With sexual purity. It goes hand in hand with the modesty. It goes hand in hand in decency. For instance, there was one who, like the Muslims, that's why I like them. They are very strict in virginity. Before you get married, they check you whether you are a virgin or not. There are some ladies who they end up having anal sex because they don't want to lose their hymen. Now imagine there's such a kind of person. You call yourself a virgin and then you're having anal oral sex. So if you're a virgin, then you should what? You should be a pure virgin. You should have purity. Purity and virginity goes hand in hand. One asked me recently when I was trying to ask her out, who claims to be a virgin. The first question she asked me is that, am I rich? Of course, me, I also ask her back, are you also rich? We ended up arguing and quarreling. I just told her, my friend, I think she's 25 or what, 24, I'm not sure. Even I didn't bother. Just know this one is not serious. Yeah. So if you fail to grow in other areas, like honesty, having maybe academic papers, having a source of income. Now, like that one, we asking me, are you rich? That means he's not even bothered whether I'm morally okay or I'm what, but hers is after money. What is the difference between her and the prostitute? It is very hard even to differentiate whether she's the real one. So that's why even I didn't take her serious. So such kind of foolish virgins, they end up frustrated. Most times they end up reaching 30 plus or 40 with no man. When they are there thinking the virginity is the only thing. Virginity is not the only thing. It constitutes, if it is maximum is only 30%. Even 30 is, I'm being too generous. 30 is too much. But if it's too much, is a 30% of all what is needed for a good relationship, a good a husband material or wife material. So you should be a wise virgin. So who is a wise virgin? A wise virgin are those who have extra oil. That means you don't consider your virginity like is everything. Like most virgin ladies, especially ladies, they are very proud. Pride is a very big problem to most of the virgins. Satan was thrown out from heaven because of pride. Pride is a very serious sin. So if you're a virgin, you should be humble. That is one of the extra oil. You should go and get academic papers. At least have a diploma. If you can get a degree, well and good. You need to have a job. You need to be educated. You need to be polite. Some of you, like most virgins, are very arrogant. You're too arrogant, as if the world revolves around them. So you don't need to be arrogant. You need to be polite. Some are hot-tempered. So even their virginity, it loses meaning. Then some are liars. You lie today, you lie here. They cannot keep their word. So how shall we know even that your virginity, what you told us that your virgin is true? That means you can even lie. Because going to the hospital, it's not 100%, just like DNA. And so what about us? Or what about those? Somebody will ask, what about us who are not virgins? Of course, we have what we call secondary virginity. I can talk little about that. You have to abstain. Oh, if you have sinned, you have to repent, and then you can get your self-control, have some sexual discipline. So that means you have to repent and stop digging, stop fornicating. If you have been doing it because of boyfriend, girlfriend, no cohabiting, you need to stop. If you're listening to me now, you need to stop it, repent, and then you carry your cross. Carrying your cross means that there are some men or some people who cannot marry you, because there are some people who, if you are not a virgin, they have nothing to do with you. There are some men, especially men, I know there are some men who, if you are not a virgin, they cannot marry you. Many of those guys who have kept themselves, as you can even see in the Bible or in the good book. God could not choose Magdalena to be the mother of his son. Instead, they chose Mary, who was a virgin. So sometimes that is one of the cross. That means you cannot carry the Messiah. Most kings, I don't know of a king who can marry, but most kings, what I know, kings don't marry ladies who are not virgins. So that is another cross. That means some kings, you cannot be a wife of a king. As I told you, I'm talking mainly about the ladies because I've never seen a girl who gave me that one of her, almost a virgin lady who said, no, there was one who told me. I think I saw one only who said no, she's also going to marry a virgin man. But most even are ready to marry a guy who has fornicated with over 50 ladies. See how society is messed up, whereby people, even those who claim to be virgin, they don't know the value of their virginity. They can marry any other thing, any other man who has been sleeping around. So if you're a virgin, you need to marry a virgin, or you need to marry somebody who has who has maybe fornicated once or two maximum. But if you're going to 3+, then you need to revisit your virginity, whether you're really a virgin or not. Such can be proved. So if you're those who are not virgins, you need to abstain and then repent. and everything will be okay. Maybe to boil down, the internet does not forget. One of the things which I need to talk about sexual purity, which most people, internet what? Doesn't forget. We have some virgin girls and you're there. With the what? With the camera. Taking your your toto and the captus. When you're sending it to a boyfriend. What I'm saying is nudes. Yeah. You're a virgin and you're taking nudes. That means your head doesn't work. You're not a virgin. Then there's a problem with you. Leave that to the fornicators and to those say the heathen. That is what they do. Fornicators, those who sleep around like dogs, that is their work. But if a virgin and you're also sending nudes, then there's a very big problem. Never send nudes to anybody. Even if those who are married, even if you're married, why would you send your nudes to your husband or your wife? Me, I don't see that as normal. It is not in order. Now you're dating someone has not even married you, or is a friend, or you are just met online. You send me, let me have a look at your breast and your toto or your vagina. Then you start taking. They are opening your leg. You see how some of you have mental problems, and you claim to be a virgin. To make matters worse, some even claim to be Christians. Christian cannot do that. Those are things done by non-Christians. So you should never send nudes to anybody. Even your husband or wife. I don't recommend that. So nudes, don't do that if you're a lady. And if he's a man who is sending his rod or his penis, picturing his penis and sending to ladies. If you're a girl who is planning to date him, then you just know you're dating a wrong person. You leave him. You postpone the whatever you want to do with him until further notice, because that shows that is a very low grade. Those who do this, who send nudes online, those are low fruits, low hanging fruits. Those are people who lack values, who lack virtues. So if he's a man who does that, then he cannot be a leader. And that is it. Even if you call him a boyfriend or girlfriend, it's normally those who like doing that. I've already talked about boyfriend. You should never have such thing. That I have a boyfriend, girlfriend, what? Any note. This is also a caveat. Some highly valuable, virtuous people or men, it's normally men who like doing it, can ask you, send me, let me have a look. Let me see if your breasts are normal or if your toto, your vagina is normal. And they'll ask you, yes. Some of them, they just want to see who you are. And this is a test to test if you're morally upright or not. So don't rush and start sending, then say, now I've got a man. Let me prove that I'm normal. If he wants to see, he can see it during courtship. You can go to the hospital and then you see it during courtship. But not to start picturing and sending it online. So that might be just a simple test to test if you're morally upright or you're not. And then if you rush and send, that proves who you are yes. Even if they put a lot of pressure on you, send, do this, you send it. No, don't. So if you don't, then you have passed the morality test. Most times it's a test, just trying to test you. Like if you see is it Adam? Yeah, Abram. Yeah, Abram. Yeah, God tested him. He say, you go and sacrifice your son. Is it Isaac or who? I'm not too good in Bible. If I make a mistake, you can correct me in the comment section. So some of these things are tests. You should not fail such simple tests. Some even call you and say, "Come to my room. Maybe we need to sleep around. Or come and spend the night." And then for you, you just rush quickly and say you're spending a night. Oh, let us have sex to prove that you love me. And I've written something also about this, how to prove that you love someone. So such simple tests you shouldn't fail. Conclusively, sexual purity, modesty, and decency is a mental thing. If upright, if in your head, mentally, you're sexually pure, that means things to do with immorality, you don't like watching porn and all these things, you don't put it in your brain, in your mind, then you never have, it is going to be very, very hard for you to mess up your life in such kind of, or to mess your dignity and your purity, or even to fall into sexual sin. It becomes very hard if always your senses, you make sure you keep them safe. You don't what? My computer has gone off. You don't. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm saying that this sexual purity is mainly a mental thing. So make sure mentally you're sexually pure. You don't keep yourself. You don't keep a lot of immoral things in your head. There you cannot easily fall. And then you have to also take precautions. I've also written about it. You need to take precautions so that they don't rape you. It is very hard to rape men. To the best of my knowledge, I don't know if I've not of any guy who has been raped before, but there are many ladies whom I was trying to date, and they are raped. You go that you're going to visit a boyfriend, he locks the room. What do you do? He sleeps with you, whether you like it or not. You can remove your clothes, and most of them, because they fear to make noise, they just accept. That is it. Keep your dignity, keep your virginity, and if you're virgin, stay virgin until you're married. After wedding, that's when you can lose it. If you have lost it before, then you have to abstain until you're married. But most importantly, you have to keep yourself sexually pure mentally. That is the best way of how you can keep your dignity, virginity, and sexual purity. Have a blessed night.